The Home Affairs Minister has created a diplomatic row with South Africa after suggesting white farmers in the country are being persecuted and need protection. South Africa has demanded Peter Dutton retract the remarks and hauled in Australia's High Commissioner overnight to express its displeasure. Greens leader Richard Di Natale accused Mr Dutton of wanting a return to the White Australia policy of the past. Our political reporter Ashlyn McGee has more from Canberra.
What Peter Dutton has essentially done is wade into what is for South Africa a fairly charged issue around race politics, and he appears to have weighed in by his own words after watching a number of TV stories and reading a number of articles, and made these comments that the South African farmers are persecuted and that he's looking at whether we can give them some kind of special visa category, whether a civilised country like Australia can give them special protection. And it's those comments that have really upset the South Africans. It appears that Mr Dutton has done this at the urging of some of his colleagues, certainly on the right of the party. There have been a number of social media posts from a number of his colleagues urging him to take action, and certainly saying that they've been lobbying him for some time to respond to this issue. But it seems that largely his response is based on having read those few stories rather than any kind of advice from his department or the authorities.
And has Peter Dutton himself responded to South Africa's criticism of his comments yet?
Look, the only comment that he's made today is that he stands by what he's said, that he remains concerned and that he's looking at whether any special visa category can be creating. He's exploring options. If we have a look at the Foreign Minister, Julie Bishop's language, she was a little softer when asked about it. She said her and the Home Affairs Minister are discussing if anything needs to change. And certainly, if we look to his other colleagues, Michael McCormack, the new leader of the National Party, the new Deputy Prime Minister of Australia, he seemed to be a little lukewarm to his colleagues' comments. Let's take a listen.
Peter Dutton has made those comments in good faith, and I appreciate it's a delicate situation there, but I think it's a little bit rich to go always asking ministers to retract comments. So, as I say, he made those comments in good faith, and Peter Dutton is doing an outstanding job in the immigration portfolio.
And that was Michael McCormack there, the leader of the National Party. Certainly some of the criticism has been that white farmers are at no greater risk than any other South African. And certainly looking at some of the reports and figures around, it seems to be that the general consensus is that the level of violence there is no greater, even though some lobby groups say it is. So Greens leader Richard Di Natale has weighed in as well, and he says that this is Peter Dutton pandering to the right of the party and to One Nation voters in Queensland. Let's take a listen.
Looks like Peter Dutton wants to bring back the White Australia policy here in Australia. I mean, Peter Dutton wants to bring back the White Australia policy. According to Peter Dutton, if you're a white South African farmer, you're going to make a great contribution, you won't bludge on welfare. But if you're not white, you won't do any of those things. I know there's been a lot of debate at the moment about whether Peter Dutton's comments were racist. Well, there's no debate as far as I'm concerned. The bloke is an out-and-out racist.
That is Richard Di Natale, the leader of the Greens there, with strong words for Minister Peter Dutton. The opposition leader was also asked about it, and he backed away from any kind of direct condemnation of Peter Dutton, but he did say that Australia's migration policy really shouldn't be about a person's skin colour. It should be about need.
Ashlyn McGee there.